Okay, we on live.
Right? Shalom. This is the brother Ra'aya
For the Yakanan.
of GMS New Orleans coming at you with another live lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashum, Yahushai, Bahashum, Rakahat Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, a great millstone who ruled and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word of truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe, being brothers and bearing to the end, and to the few sincere Aqua diligently learning the silence, Shalom. And the premise of this lesson is to keep that old man buried. And this was partly inspired by a video I was watching this morning by a brother talking about how it's time to grow up, growing up in the spirit. And he made a very good point that the Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua is building us up to be men, after their standard. And Yahushua is not coming back to save niggas, and he's not coming and he's not giving spiritual powers to niggas. We're gonna have to be at a level, you know, to be able to get through the times we're going through. And hey, to be saved, you know, being men after the heart of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, and that comes with keeping that old man down. Because as we get closer, to the end, Satan's ramping things up and bringing things, brothers' ways to what? Try to play and pull at the flesh, pull at things that may have been dealing with back in the world to try to get you off kilter. But hey, we got to stay focused and stay on that straight path.
Right.
But we can start it off with that Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22.
All right, hold on. Ephesians chapter 4. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22, it says that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts.
Hey, that first verse gets straight to the point that ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, things that you would have overindulged in back in the world, whether it be what, drinking, women, getting too focused, on the job, the cares and the affairs of this life, things that, once you come into the truth, you see that the work in the ministry is a full-time job. And that's one of the first things you see is that the things that you may have put a lot of interest in the world, what? The ministry takes more, more time and effort than those things in the world. And a lot of brothers have to, make that choice. Am I going to cut this thing off, or is this thing going to cut me off from the truth? And that comes with, growing in the spirit and afflicting yourself and looking at the bigger picture. That these things, that are pleasing to us or that we care about in the world are what? Eventually going to get destroyed, burned up by nuclear fire. But the only thing that will remain is this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and what us doing our best to, be saved by Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And that comes with putting off that old man and continuing to grow in the spirit, building up that new man.
Right. You want me to keep going?
And you can go down to verse 25, Baba Kashah.
It says, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. All right. And that ye put on the new man, which after Yahweh is created in righteousness in true holiness. Wherefore putting away lying, speaking every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another.
Hey, and be ye renewed in the spirit of your mind. How do we do that? Constantly staying in the spirit, reading, doing lessons, praying and fasting if need be for the things that are afflicting you, and being around the brotherhood. As it says, iron sharpeneth iron. As we get closer to the end, the main thing is staying in the spirit, because like I said, Satan's going to be coming all angles to attack us, because this is his last hurrah, to take the elect, the hopeful elect away. And that he put on the new man, which after the Most High is created in righteousness and true holiness. hey, the new man in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. What? Dealing in the spirit, and following after the ways of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai to the best of your ability. Wherefore, putting away lying, speaking every man truth with his neighbor, we are members one of another. And hey, we got to be honest with ourselves if we're going to be honest with the Akim. Because what? If you're off kilter, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, it's going to show in the spirit. That's one thing. Brothers that are in the spirit, they can see that old man, that carnal man, taking you off your post. And brothers are going to rebuke you for it. But before you get there, hey, examine yourself. As it says, examine yourself to see that you are in the faith.
I got something real fast. This is 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if any man be in a Mashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new.
Hey, old things are passed away. The cares and the affairs and the lust of this life. Because, I'm speaking to myself, of course, as well as, whoever this lesson, stirs it up in your spirit. But hey, the more we grow in the spirit, and hey, I've been through my pitfalls and having to, build myself up and cut things off, the more I see the importance of this truth that I've, made it through those pitfalls. And then some tests have come that I could have done better on, but some tests have come that I actually passed. And it made me realize that, look, these things that were an issue with me before, I was just, allowing that old man to, claw himself up out of that grave. But as I was dealing in the spirit with those situations, I see, the importance of this truth and the unimportance of the things in this world. Because at the end of the day, it's all just vanity and bullshit and what temporary pleasures.
Yeah, I got one real fast. This is Proverbs 24:16. For a just man falleth 7 times and raise it up again, but the wicked shall fall unto mischief.
And hey, while it does say a just man falleth 7 times and gets up, you shouldn't take that as liberty to just keep, indulging in your desires and fucking up out here. Because while a righteous man has the ability to get back up and get back on the horse, hey, that next decision you make could be your last decision. And we don't know how much grace we truly have with Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. That's why we're the hopeful elect. We hope that we make it. So with that being the case, we constantly keep on ourselves, afflicting ourselves and, keeping our desires in check, rolling in the spirit, renewing that new man day by day by keeping in the holy conversation of things, the ministry, reading, doing lessons, praying and fasting, etc., etc. But the next one, if you didn't have another precept, the next one you could get me is 1 Peter chapter 4. You can read verses 1 to 4, Baba Kasha.
1 Peter chapter 4, verse what?
Verse 1, and we're going to read down to verse 4.
This 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 1, it says, for as much even as Hamashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that had suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin.
And hey, Yahweh Shai was a perfect example of how we should operate. When he came on the scene, what was he about? Doing his father's business. And that involved him at what? Getting involved in the pleasures of the flesh, and involved in afflicting the flesh and staying in the spirit. And what? Prophesying, ministering, being brotherly out here, being a good example, to your Akim.
Yeah, we had in times past, we had plenty of guys who've been bad examples to the flock, man. All right, whether it's the Uridan guy, many other guys that came into play, many other guys that then came through the different camps, man. Being bad examples. All right, overindulging in certain things they shouldn't be doing, and especially in front of the younger brothers, man. All right, you gotta be to the point where you gotta have a clean rap sheet, as they say. You gotta move. Like I said, you gotta treat this truth ultimately like you're walking on eggshells, man. All right, constantly understanding that whether it's the Akim, all right, under you, or the men that trying to get into really get a hang of this thing, you're being watched. You got to be a better example. All right, on top of the angels actually watching you, man. So you should walk in fear. Your steps in this truth should be counted every step with fear of Yahweh Shem Shai, man, and what he could do to you, man. Especially if you put that same the same things you would do in your walk, and you can basically what's the word? You can basically corrupt a brother, man.
Poison.
Yeah, poison a brother, man. All right. But go ahead,
Hey, a beautiful point you made. To the brothers that are out there, hey, at all levels, brothers that have been under you, new brothers coming in, you know, you have to look at yourself as a role model in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, because as the elder brother was saying, brothers are watching, and you don't know who watches you or who actually looks up to you, and you don't want to put.
I want to say this too, and you brothers and you new up and coming brothers that are on the side, or you brothers that got in the camp, don't sit there and just assume things either, man. You gotta sit and you gotta ask questions. You gotta seek counsel, because maybe the way you taking it or the way your outlook on things may be far off than what meets the eye. So you gotta get to a point of constantly being in counsel, man, asking questions, and don't be in fear. Oh, I'm asking too many questions. That's what brothers are here for. That's what the leadership is there for. All right, the structure in the camp is there to ask questions, so we can actually move on, and basically ultimately get to the kingdom, man. All right, go ahead.
And that's another aspect of putting off the old man, being presumptuous or what? Being prideful and not wanting to be seen as wrong, or as the elder brother was saying, asking too many questions. We come into this thing as new babes, where the main goal is to gather as much knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as you can and pass it on to the next man. And what that involves as well is cutting off those old tendencies so you don't poison brothers. You're not setting a bad example and just create a bunch of gremlins out here, because we've seen it before, how deep and how deadly a root of just poison can infect brothers and make them, Jake's back in the world.
And that blood is on you, man. All right, that blood is on you. And we see that, you see those examples in those other camps, man. Case being the IUIC, Sakari, and different guys, man. All they done is made a carbon copy of themselves, man. The hip hop shit mingles with the truth, caps, shirt garments, and the list goes on and on and on. It take the high holy days as a joke. It take going to camp as a way to look like a militia group. All right, vests and guns and rifles and shit. Like, the list goes on though. But go ahead, brother.
Make merchandise you're doing. We'll leave that there. You just
$500 classes, $300 classes, and when it which the Lord did it, the Lord, we got this truth for free, man. Even via the elders and apostles, they weren't charging nobody. So how and then the guys who was once a part of this thing about GMS, they got it for free, but now they charging you. All right, it's all game, man. They're getting over. But that's a part of the old man we're talking about. Jake. One thing about Jake always trying to get over. He's always trying to be a supplanter. All right, and it comes from a carnal state. Go ahead,
being a greedy nigga for gain. But as I said back in that first.
No, you got it, brother.
As I said back in that 1 Peter 4 verse 1, for as much then as Hamashiach hath suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind, for he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin. And what does suffering in the flesh entail? Examining yourself, seeing what things aren't good for your spirit, what things take you off kilter, and cutting those things off. Or some things are lawful, but hey, it's not expedient to overindulge in it. So pray and fast, do whatever you need to be to temper that and hold it in place, so you aren't just an animal out here, a a brute beast going off your instincts. And as I said, he that suffereth in the flesh had ceased from sin. That keeps you out of a lot of trouble walking in the spirit. But you can keep going in that first Peter, Zach.
And it says verse 2 that he no longer should live in the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High.
Straight to the point, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lusts of men, to the will of the Most High. Putting away that old man, that carnal conversation, for that spiritual conversation, moving in the spirit and constantly thinking, what would Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai expect of me in this situation? You can keep going on.
It says, for the time passes, and my bad, for the time pass of our life may suffice us to have walked the will of the Gentiles when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, all right, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries.
And hey, that sounds like an average weekend for Jake. What? Walking in lasciviousness, your sexual appetites, your sexual desires, walking around with that pink thing hanging out of your mouth like a dog, excess of wine, popping bottles 24/7, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatry. Just out here in that party boy spirit all the time. Just concerned about that next hit, that next nut, whatever. Just completely feeding the flesh while you're drowning out the spirit. As I said, time pack. Oh.
I would say you ain't in time for that, man. All right, we're in some crucial times where the actual dynamics of things that's going on is finna shift in an even more rapid pace. You can't be in that party boy spirit. You can't be in the spirit of you got a lot of guys, you can't tell a difference from them from a 2/3, man. All right, we're in that time. You gotta lock in. You really gotta truly lock into the things that's going on, all right, in the spirit. All right. Go ahead, Doc.
Hey, the Most High is making it easier as we get closer to the end of this society. Prices are getting high out here. STDs are rising at a rampant rate. So you don't know, whoever you're dealing with could give you whatever. The food and the drink is poison. Everything's just through out here. There is nothing out here at this point. And these people, just look at these people that are still trying to live this American party on the weekend lifestyle. They look worn out and they look through. And now they're starting to take to YouTube saying, oh, this prices are high. I've got no future. What are we going to do? They don't have the answers. They don't have any hope. But you have answers and you have a hope of salvation. What does that come with? Being in the spirit, not being in the flesh.
You want me to go down to what? 4, right?
We can drop verse 4, but we can get 1 Corinthians 13, verse 11, Baba Kashah.
Okay. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 13 and 11 says, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things.
And I remember one time we were out at a like a little bar, and the brother Kaya in our camp was looking around and saying, hey, Esau, this man is, I'm trying to remember how he said it, Esau, this man is really childish, and he just created a childish society. What it's saying, Isaiah 3, children shall rule over them. We live in the ultimate, Peter Pan playground society out here, where it's what? Just going to the next bit of fun. It's nothing serious out here. You got older people, trying to act young, younger people drugged out. It's just a whole list of bullshit and childishness out here. And you are a child if you want to be in the society and continue. Because what does a child want to do? Have fun all the goddamn time. A child doesn't want any responsibility, and a child, doesn't want to grow up. But in this spirit, it forces us to grow up and put away these childish things and be men and women of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah, which comes with accountability and responsibility.
Yeah.
And if you could get me Job 38:3.
Oh. So I got another precept too.
Oh, Con, you got it.
It's 1 Corinthians 14:20 says, "Brethren, be not children in understanding, where howbeit in malice be ye children, but in understanding be men."
Straight to the point. Be not children in understanding. Don't be simple-minded out here. We have the scriptures. Hey, the Spirit is dealing with us to understand the scriptures. And as the elder brother was saying earlier, you got the body to get counsel from. Do nothing without counsel. Hey, in understanding, we have to be men, and men stand on their business. But what did it say? Be children in maliciousness, in sin and ignorance in the ways of this world. Be children and be ignorant to that. Stay away from that.
Now, what you wanted me to get?
Job 38:3, because as it said in that 1 Corinthians 13, when I became a man, I put away childish things. And again, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah is calling us to be men out here, because as the brother said in that video, the Most High is not coming back to save niggas, and he's not giving spiritual powers to niggas. He's giving spiritual powers and coming back to save kings and priests, men striving that standard.
And when you strive, you got to strive correctly, man. You can't half-ass strive. You can't. Today I don't feel like it. When a certain things come down on you, that's when you change up. You change up your ways to where because a lot of dudes want the truth to be fitted for them, and they don't work that way. All right, it don't work that way, man. You gotta roll with the spirit. All right. Sometimes things change up. Sometimes you'll what I want to say is everything's not gonna go your way. All right. Every time we go out on the block, it's not our way. It's not sunny and beautiful and pleasant outside. Some days it'd be harsh. The weather'd be harsh, rainy. Same thing with this truth. It's not gonna be perfectly fitted around you. All right. Sometimes every time you say something, it's not gonna be taken might not be taken serious. Brothers might not even take your opinion into consideration. You can't. What you say?
Not acknowledge it.
Yeah, might not acknowledge it, man. All right. They don't mean you you scurry off and you upset and mad. You gotta deal with sometimes you just gotta deal with it, brother. And then sometimes down the line, 9 months, a couple of years down the line, brother see it your way. All right, but you just gotta roll in the spirit, man. You really in this truth. What they said, that old saying, you gotta let things roll off your back like a duck.
Yeah, water off a duck's back.
Yeah, you gotta do that, man. But go ahead, Joe.
Hey, just to back you up, what you said. Hey, more often than not, things are not going to go your way, and that's a testimony to the Most High. Building you wherever you need to build in, because in the world, things may have went your way. You always had to get in the last word. You're hothead on things, but the Most High puts you in situations you have to temper that fire. And also, as you just said, there'll be times when you don't want to do things, but you got to do it. Look at a man in the world. Oh,
that's a discipline of things. That's a discipline of this truth. All right, you can't. You might not want to do it, but it's still got to be done. All right, then you can't take that also that spoiled brat spirit to the truth too, man. Because you was in the world, daddy, mommy pampered you. All right, life was good. All right, you got that good old Nintendo 64 you always wanted. All the things you ever wanted. And then you get out in the real world and real life and you get around men and things don't work that way, man. Brothers definitely will rebuke you or get on you. All right. That's not the end of the world either, man. Though that short bit of pain, whatever you feel, is actually lashes for you to grow, man. All right. Because what happened with pain? What happened with pain? Your body, you get used to it, and then it actually forms of a mechanism to not feel that pain anymore. It's growth. All right. It's not to just brothers rebuking you, getting on you about a situation. It's not to destroy you, man. Not to destroy you. Okay. It's actually for you to grow. But go ahead, Doc.
Friend loveth at all times, but a brother is born for adversity. Brothers rebuke you to build you up because they don't want to see you destroy yourself. And hey, let's look at a man, from a carnal sense in the world. Most men don't want to get up at 4, 5, 6 in the morning and go to work, but they have responsibilities. They have to pay bills. They have to provide for their family. And if they just, sit on their ass all day playing video games, what's going to happen? Hey, everything's going to fall apart. They're going to be on their ass. And it's the same thing in the truth.
And one thing you learn about it as a man, ain't nobody coming to help you, man. Man, you just out there by your goddamn self. You see it through the way that people think out here. What's that old saying? When a boat go down, save the women and children. Mm-hmm. Man, you just got to fend for yourself, man.
The captain's got to go down with the ship.
Yeah. So you gotta be on it, man. All right, you can't be, when things don't go your way, you can't be carnal about it either, man. Let me get that too. But go ahead. Let me get that. But hold up. Now what you had in Job real fast?
Job 38:3. Because as we read in that 1 Corinthians, the Apostle Paul said, what? When I was a child, I spake as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Now let's see what a man is, according to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua.
At Job 38:3, it says, gird up now thou loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me.
And I'm going to back that up real quick with Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Straight to the point. The Most High told us to gird up our loins like a man, and he will require of us, and how will we answer unto him? Fearing him, following his commandments, because that's the whole duty of a man of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. And that comes with afflicting yourself, afflicting that carnal man, that old man, and building up that spiritual man. Put away those childish things.
Right. Shit, man. I had that holy but good though. This is Romans 8:7 says.
I had that start at 5. I can read down to 9. Baba Kashal.
Romans 8:5 it says, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. All right, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit.
And as we read in that 1 Peter's, what? Arming ourselves in a likewise manner as Yahushai to afflict ourselves in the flesh, so what? We cease from sin. As it said further down, not being in times past as the Gentiles, rioting and banqueting and being in that lascivious spirit, feeding the flesh, but feeding the spirit.
Yeah, because all the things that you, even in the truth, the things that you accumulate, all right, from the world is who gave it to you, man? The Most High. You got to honor Him. Just because you get a new house, a new job, and cars and all that shit, you can't lose your fucking wits, man. You got to still basically keep that eye single to the Most High. Okay, the Most High gave me this woman, man. It don't mean the world ends. All right, these little objects that we get, these little things that really these little tangible things that's going to pass away. The Most High gave it to us, to keep us. What's the word?
Sustained.
Yes, keep us sustained while we're in society right now, man. All right, because we understand that what money is a defense. All right, but you don't lose your wits when you get money too. All right, and I done seen dudes in the past in this truth get money and just lose their goddamn minds. You don't see them no more, man. All right. Certain jobs lose their minds. Certain women lose their goddamn minds, man. All right, you should be that same person as if it was yesterday. Okay, those things shouldn't change a goddamn thing, man. All right, we're having more money means what my man Biggie said, more money, more problems, and it is. It brings more demons around. It brings more bills. All right, and then like what my man said, he said basically when he was ugly. They weren't fucking with him, man. But then once he got the money, everybody want to fuck with him. Everybody want it. That's when all the broads, all the family members, the cousins want to hang out. That's what happens. All right. But when you get those things, you should still operate on the same level that you was, like I said yesterday. It shouldn't be no difference. All right.
Just as easily as you got it is as easily as it can be taken away.
Yeah, like that, man.
Riches, it was the same Proverbs. Riches grow wings and flee away.
Yeah. And that's true, man. Where was that?
Verse 6.
Verse 6, it says, For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
And what does it say? I think it's in Timothy's. She that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. And as it said, for to be carnally minded is death, because feeding the flesh is what, especially in this society after Esau, who's tailored this whole society in wickedness against the law, statutes, and commandments, is what? Going to lead to you committing sin. It's going to lead to you being put to death horrifically. But to be spiritually minded is life and peace. And you know, as brothers always say, you know, the more you cut things off and really feed that spiritual man, the more at peace you're at, because you've got, of course, you've got, you know, your responsibilities, job, paying bills, dealing with your family, but all that extra shit, when you cut that off, you see, you know, I got less stuff to worry about. You know, I get my daily bread. You know, I do the work, I fellowship with the brothers, and hey, you know, I got a little free time for whatever here and there. Most of the time, I just want to chill and not even be involved with any of that bullshit out there.
So I'm coming right back. Hold up.
Oh, kind. But yeah,
find something.
Kind. But as it says in verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High. When you're at enmity with something, you're at odds with something, you're an enemy. And what's it say about you being found to fight against the Most High? That's a losing battle. For it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be.
Right.
You can't be a carnal man and a spiritual man at the same time. What's it say? A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You either got to be one or the other. And as Yahushua said, if you're lukewarm, you're trying to straddle the fence, he's going to spew you out of his mouth.
You can't do them both, man. All right, because both of them, you know, it takes time, man. All right, this truth is compared to a woman named Sophia, and we know as men, if you didn't got out here in the world, you didn't so-called dated women, you had girlfriends and you know, multiple girlfriends or whatever like that. That shit takes time. Dealing with a woman alone takes time. You got the whole, you remember when you're 13, you're on the phone all day till you fall asleep. You going to the show. You going here. You going there. That's how this truth is, man. You get to knowing that woman. She get to knowing you, and it takes time. So you can't take time with this woman and deal with the world. The world itself is a lot, man. All right, and like I was getting this old quote. It says, "He that basically commits himself to nothing is distracted by everything, man." All right, and that's how a lot of guys be. You committed to nothing. You're distracted by everything. So you got to commit yourself to this truth, man. To where this truth takes your time up. This is worthy time that's been taken from you, man. The time, the patience. All right. All these things, is helpful to the kingdom, all right, in your deliverance, man. The world is gonna get you destroyed. Being carnal is gonna get you destroyed, man. All right, I got another verse too, though. But go ahead.
It says in Proverbs also, a fool's eyes are at the ends of the earth. It means you're just like a cat, or like an animal that sees a shiny object. You're just following after it. And you know, another quote they got is, you either believe in something or you fall for anything.
Yeah.
Just to back up the elder brother's quote. Hey, if you've been graced by Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua to understand understand these scriptures, and especially be around the brotherhood, you should take that. You should not take that lightly, because you've got a straight line to the truth and the answers to everything in salvation.
Right. Let me go back to it. And it says for verse 7, it says, because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be.
You can go to verse 8.
And it says, verse 8, so then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High.
And was it saying, I think Luke 16, you cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve God and Mammon. And, Mammon is representative of money. But, you can't serve two masters out here. You either serve the Most High and put your all into it, or, you serve the lust of the flesh and you put your all into that. One of them leads to life, and one of them is going to lead to destruction. It's up to you to decide which path you want to follow, and really keep yourself in check to see that you're not, straying off from that straight path into that wide path of destruction.
Yeah, but Jake don't never be checking for shit. All right, because you think in your mind what you're doing is okay in your eyes, man.
Your liberty.
Yeah. And a lot of guys, more or less, they're more caught up in the liberty of things than the spiritual things, man. All right? And you see it. They could tell you wherever all the clubs at. They could tell you all the bullshit that's going on. But then you ask them of a breakdown of scripture. All right? You ask them, all right, being in the spirit, they stumble and they all fucked up. They're not in tune with things, man. All right? Even in camp, you're not in tune with the camp. You on Gullah Gullah Island and everybody else is locked in. All right? You got to fix that type of shit, man. All right? Go ahead.
You can get verse 9.
Verse 9 says, but ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. If so be that the spirit of the Most High dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the spirit of Hamashiach, he is none of his.
Again, I'd rather ye be hot or cold. If you try to be lukewarm, what I'm going to speak out of my mouth. Hey, we are not to be in the flesh, but in the spirit. If so be that the spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you. Because again, while a righteous man doth fall 7 times and gets back up, when a wicked man, falleth and stay down into destruction. We don't know how much grace we have, or if our grace has a cutoff point. That very next decision you make could be that cutoff point, and you're back in the world, and with these other people in that wide path of destruction. So we should constantly be examining ourselves to see if we are in the faith, especially now in these times. You got angels showing up, chariots, talks of World War III, the MOTB. We are at the door of salvation, so things are going to ramp up at a level we've never seen before.
Yeah, you gotta be locked in with the spirit, or you just gonna get left behind, man. All right, you gotta. It's like a race. You watch those guys. They got the thing with the Olympics and shit going on. You watch those guys do the 800. If you're not staying with the pack around that track a bunch of times to the last lap, you're gonna get lost, man. You're gonna get lapped, So you gotta stay with the spirit. All right. My brother asked you about what's going on with NATO, what's going on with certain events going on. But even within Israel, you should be at least in the ballpark of knowing what's going on, man. No, I don't know. You don't know nothing.
What's NATO?
Nothing. You don't know nothing that's going on, man. All right, because your mind is focused on the affairs of this world, your family members, your woman, the job shit with the people at the job. Like, you shouldn't. Who gives a fuck, man? They all gonna die. All right. That's how a lot of times I walk around. Like, people at the job, they're gonna die, man. The people that's in Walmart and both of them gonna die. If they're not of the elect, they're gonna get smoked, man. Off the boat. The Lord don't give a shit. Okay? I need to be focused and locked in on this. All right? This come first. You know, we're in a time with this the election year. November is walking down. You know, who to say we're gonna make it to November? All right, we dealing with like this brother was going into. This is a thing that keep coming up. They keep talking about cyber attacks. All right, the down they're gonna down the grids to where there's no who the fuck who's to say that we're gonna make it to the election? And if we do
next week,
yeah, who's to say what's gonna happen during that? Because we looking at we're also looking at civil unrest, man, a civil war breaking out in this country too, man. All right, these Edomites not getting their way, not getting the guy who they want to get in office, or they openly show that things are rigged, things were taken from another particular party. Who's to say what's going to happen? Like I said, are you a lot of you guys, man? You know, you see a lot of them. You talk that big shit, but are you really ready right now, man? If the Lord was to press that green button, is you ready to go right now, man? And a lot of guys not, man. Your mind is not even in the proper place it's supposed to be, man. You about the bullshit, you know? And you see a lot of dudes, man. Go ahead, Doc.
Still think it's 2010.
No, you still acting like you shouldn't be in this thing and still acting like this your first month in the truth, man. You just trying to get things right, you know? You should be far from that. But shit gonna get serious though, man. And the thing about it, the Lord gonna put us in no goddamn bubble like Bubble Boy. You gonna be in the midst of this shit, man. All right, you gonna see people get jacked up. All right, it's gonna be a lot going on, but you know, a lot of guys mind in the proper place. You just in cloud nine. You know, you got that old I don't know if you ever seen it, brother. It's like a meme with a dude with a long neck and his neck is in the clouds. So a lot of guys, you just gone, man. You're not aware of your surroundings. You don't take nothing serious. Brothers, kind of tell you something, you kind of instantly forget a second after it just was told to you, man. You know? You gotta wake the fuck up, man. And this shit, like I said, and say that too, because things are ramping out here on the streets. It's more, I'm hearing, I kind of keep up with some of these things. A lot of these things that's going on here with these migrants, all right, they starting to really do shit out here, man. They starting to, like, down here where we at, the migrants starting to do a lot of killings. They starting to do jackings, and you can't walk around like that, like you're on Gullah Gullah Island, man. All right? You gotta snap out of it, man. Go ahead. That's just,
Hey,
mean to do that, bro.
Hey, that plays into the lesson, because if you caring about the affairs of this life and that old man and pleasing your lusts, what? You're gonna get caught up in the consequences. With this society collapsing, and you want to be a part of this collapsed society, you're gonna collapse with it.
Yeah, because before the collapse, there are signs, man. Before anything collapses, what you start having? You start having cracking. You have the sounds of something finna fall. It's signs to show you. But if you ain't paying attention to the signs, man, you just gonna get taken like everybody else, man. Oh, brother, like I said, we didn't have guys in the past. You ask them, hey, brother, you aware of this, aware of that? Oh, no. But what's going on World Star Hip Hop? They can tell you every video. For the last 4 pages of World Star Hip Hop, I can tell you every video. You know what I'm saying? They can tell you about every single video about the bullshit. But when they talk about spiritual
playoffs,
the playoffs, they can tell you every stat from 1996 of Michael Jordan. All right. Every baseball, like stupid shit, man. When it comes when it comes to being on point, which is true, they're lost. You gotta snap out of it, man. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, I just got 2 more.
Go ahead.
Sirach 18 and 27.
Sirach.
Khan.
Sirach 18 and 27, right?
Khan.
A wise man will fear in everything, and in the day of sinning, he will beware of offense. But a fool will not observe time.
Hey, a wise man will fear in everything. We're walking on eggshells out here. A simple example: you're dealing with a woman, you're talking to her, and she says she has a man. You better ask she has a man first. You better just not sit there and you're vibing, get a number, and then y'all go on a date without even asking. Find out she has a man. The Most High, and you should know better with stuff like that. That's just a small example, but just to go back to a wise man with fear and everything in the day of sin.
If she don't, I'm gonna gladly assume she do.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm gonna work backwards and asking her, oh, man, you too damn fine out to have somebody. Oh, well, I got somebody. You know, you gotta play them backwards, man. You know what I'm saying? You the guy, you just gullible to believe every damn thing she's saying, and then you go in the house, and then you in there in the room with her watching the Netflix, and then the door open up, and it's some big Amistad nigga standing through the door. You see the silhouette. Oh damn. You don't want to be caught up in them type of moments, man.
And he pulls out that Mad Max shotgun on the ass. What you
Yeah,
gonna do then?
Ain't trying to hear that shit, man. You know?
And shit, that's with everything. You got to be aware of your surroundings when you do go out here. A situation could come up, especially if you're around brothers. You shouldn't be moving any conflict.
I'm gonna say this too, because me and this brother made a video a while back, some months back or so. You gotta look at it too, man. A lot of these different camps play games with you too, man. They be on a common board disguised like other names. Another camp, just like in the world, these niggas in the world send women at other dudes, man. These other camps can send women at you. They can send women at you, man, just to get up under you to see what you do, the ins and outs of things, man. And a lot of you guys, you be pillow talking, bro. You just too loose with the mouth, and then, like I said, they get up under you, and then let it go, man. Now you got a series of videos on you, man. But you gotta be aware. You gotta be aware. You know, especially with these I'm gonna leave that alone. Aquas and shit, man. Hey, brother, you gotta that shit just send up red flags, man.
Exactly.
You dealt with a guy. Oh, I know about the truth. Oh yeah, you do. You dealt with a guy. You dealt with a guy in another camp. Yeah, you leave that alone, man. That's somebody else's woman. All right. You gotta check for that shit, man. Then you gotta be aware enough. You know why they want you so bad. All right, because it may be sent. You know, to deal with you. All right, to find information on you. Gotta be aware of this type of shit, man. Ain't no goddamn woman just glad brothers look good and shit. Had this shit right. But hey, man, in most cases, ain't that much going on in the world. Woman wants you that bad. Go ahead, brother. I'm just speaking in general. I ain't speaking about nothing in particular. But these are things that we gotta be aware as men in the Lord, especially in GMS, man.
Hey, we play. Hey, even though I'd like to learn to play in real life, but what? We play chess over here. We don't play checkers, and you got the sincere Aqua.
That's because remember we made the video say they know who we is. A lot of times these people know who you is.
I was just about to say that.
Yes, man. Go ahead, brother.
You took the words right out of my mouth because we're public figures out there. There are hundreds of hours, thousands of hours, years of footage of us out there. So people, as the elder brother was saying, people know who we are, but we don't know who they are from a can of paint. And as he was saying, people could get sent your way as agents either from other camps, agents from Esau to spy you out.
Yeah, so you gotta be playing this shit on the defense, man. All right, you gotta be playing shit on the defense, and not to be over righteous, because you talk to people and different shit like that, but you gotta at least have that red flag or what, man. And taking shit slow. Some dudes is just move. You just move too goddamn fast, man. You gotta bring a motherfucker through their paces, bro. Yeah, and that's scriptural. What's the next one?
You can, in the same chapter, you can jump to verse 30 and read to 31.
Jump to verse 30 and read to 30 what?
31.
31. All right, it says, go not after the lust, but refrain thyself from thy appetites.
Hey, see what those things are not, good for your spirit, and refrain from them. because of course we do have liberty with certain things, but you should know, and in a lot of cases, Jake does know when things are becoming, overindulged in. You become sloppy, you become, loose in the head. You start making problems around the brothers. You start making problems with your life.
Yeah, a lot of Jakes get in their own way, man. All right, a lot of times, and I spoke about it before. A lot of times, and it's true, and I didn't seen men. A lot of that shit don't be, man. So and so putting hell on me, or no. A lot of your shit is self inflicted, man. You caused them problems yourself. You didn't have to go do that. You didn't have to go pursue this and do that and different things. You could have just left that shit alone, man. All right, not a lot of that shit ain't needed for your soul right now. You just put them problems on yourself, man. Cause you can't get out of your goddamn way, man. Go ahead, Doc.
You can read verse 31 because this is the consequences of it.
What it was again? I lost it. Yeah.
Oh, Sirach 18 and 31.
Slocky. Yeah, the page had moved on me. And 31, Sirach 1381, 1831, Salaki. If thou givest thy soul the desire that pleases her, she will make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies in the what is
that malign thee.
Malign thee.
Which pretty much, they hate you. If you give yourself over to the desires of the flesh, desires of your soul, what? You're going to be made a laughing stock out here, just a big joke, not just to your enemies, but what? To the world, and to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And what? You sin, you don't get cut off. Because again, we all have grace. We're all under a grace period right now. But hey, we have been called, but we don't know if we're chosen yet. So we gotta, take every day, seriously to do our best in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Because again, that next mistake you make could be your last bit of grace, and it runs out, and that's it for you.
Yeah, because you can't keep saying, "Oh, Salakia, my bad, Salakia, my bad," and just keep constantly being the same shit with you, constantly saying doing the same thing, to Yahweh Sham Shai, man. That shit gonna run out. At some point, it's gonna run out, man. And a lot of dudes don't be thinking about that. You on your own type of time thinking, all I can do is keep doing this, keep doing what I'm doing, and then hopefully, I can just keep, covering it up with dirt. That shit you do rise to the surface every time, man. Go ahead, Doc.
That was it for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Kind
of put in some time.
Okay, so with that, we hope your sincere Akim and Aqua were edified by this lesson. And before we get out of here, again, as always, we're going to give praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Bahashem, Bahakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who ruled and teach well. Peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word, truth, and sincerity to the great ones of the globe, made brothers and there to the end. Shalom.
Shalom.